Hello and welcome to the action. We are at the Cheshire County Sports Club for the National Women's Football League Premiership Finals. This is the 3 versus 4 matchup, and we've already had a couple of scores. We apologize for the delay due to technical difficulties. We saw Leeds score a touchdown on a 40-yard play just before the stream came live, and then we've just seen a safety as well. We'll catch you on everything there, but first, let's introduce my co-host today, Carl Walkinshaw. How you doing, Carl?
Good, Sean. Great to be here. Great to be live, finally. We did miss that score by Gabriel Derrick to put the Leeds Chargers up 6-0. And we're now looking forward to seeing what the Cheshire Bears can do on offense.
As the Bears break the huddle, as a reminder, this is 7-a-side American football, so you'll usually see 3 offensive linemen and 4 skill position players spread out accordingly. We'll go through a couple things like field dimensions in a bit. We have 1 tight end to the top of your screen with a receiver. Waiting for the snap, 1 running back split behind. Nice trap play, but the D-line sniff it out and get a tackle for a loss.
Yeah, nice tackle there coming in from Megan Robinson, playing from that linebacker position. So this defense has come to play.
So now we have 2nd down inside their own 5, about loss of about a half a yard as they break the huddle. Now this is the 3-4 matchup. We had games earlier today that we'll catch you up on that set this up, as well as the final later today. Same formation, 1 running back set behind the QB with the tight end. Drops back to pass, scans the fields, and that's going to fall incomplete between 2 or 3 defenders.
Sinead Martin there, the quarterback, just trying to get something going for these Cheshire Bears. Cheshire come into this game having lost the earlier game to the Lions, 51-0. And they did play the Leeds Chargers a number of times during the season, didn't come out on top. So this is going to be a challenge for them today, Sean.
Yeah, it is, and they're going to see what they can do on 3rd down with the trips formation. Empty backfield aside from the quarterback. Pass up in the air, and that's going to be intercepted. And a tackle, but not until after that interception's returned for a score and a touchdown for Leeds to get some more points on the board. What a play, a bit of an errant pass, Carl.
Yeah, they had to do something on 3rd down. They got to get to that midpoint on the field, didn't they? But no chance there for Sinead Martin to get that one off, as Bethany Pilkington, number 42, the linebacker for Leeds, was right there in exactly the right place to pick that one off. It's a good start for Leeds. It's sort of a lead you would have expected this early on, I think. Leeds a powerful unit.
For those that haven't followed the women's game throughout the season, Cheshire ended up being invited to the playoffs following a couple teams pulling out. Carl, I believe 2 teams pulled out of the playoffs here because they couldn't field teams, if I have that correct. And then Cheshire, who's
Teesside Steelers pulled out, and unfortunately Manchester Titans, who were then handed a place, also couldn't field a team. So Cheshire on now, but let's see whether they can get in again.
Leeds with the toss and a nice open field run to get the conversion after that score. Now we've covered all sorts of different games.
14-0. We're going to get that checked. 14-0 currently if you just joined us on the stream. Leeds Chargers up early against these Cheshire Bears. Sorry, Sean, go ahead.
That's all right. I was just going to say that we've covered quite a few different formats throughout the year. Now the Women's League is 7-a-side. The field dimensions and structure of it are a little bit different than some of the other leagues that people might be used to. You have 4 downs to get to midfield and then 4 more to score. And there is a no-run zone that will cover when one of these teams gets into a scoring position. But for now, decided to go a nice heavy package with 5 people down on that line and a run up the middle. Met strongly by the defensive line and thrown down. That's a beautiful play by that Leeds defensive line.
Trying to get Ellie Partington, a big running back for Cheshire, into the game, number 52. You can see her there. hard woman to bring down, but Alice Quinn, the linebacker, meets her at the line of scrimmage and drives her back.
And we've had a couple times where Cheshire has tried to get some motion with pulling guards or trap plays, and it just hasn't quite clicked yet. We'll have to see if they can get that going. Same formation. Look for another run, but this time it's a fake. Sniffed out by the linebacker of Leeds.
Charlotte Conway coming in there quickly. Yeah, Charlotte Conway coming in there, linebacker position to shut down Sinead Martin. They're trying to get that run option going, aren't they, Cheshire? But they're having no joy at all. They're now in really backed up now. And the risk here, Sean, is more points on the board through a safety.
Yeah, we saw quite a few safeties. Last week, I believe we had a few safeties. They're a little bit more common. In this game, you get a shorter field. You're starting each drive at your own 5-yard line. And then there's a few other ways that can come into play. So safeties are a little bit more common in the 7-a-side format. That last play was a great tackle by Alice Quinn. Leeds with a strong start here with the lead and looking to pin their ears back and see if they can make a play on 3rd down for Cheshire. Carl, why don't we take this pause to just say later today we have one more game, the finals matchup, and that's going to be between the Birmingham Lions and the London Warriors, both powerhouses within the women's game. Birmingham having won quite a few finals over the last few years, back when it was called the Sapphire Series.
Yeah, exactly. The Lions have dominated, haven't they? 6 times they won that Sapphire Series before the name was changed to the National Women's Football League in 2020. And now we're in a format where we have a Premiership and we have a Division 1. The Division 1 finals, obviously, last weekend. We'll come back to that story, Sean.
As we get 3 receivers set out to the top of your screen, one in at tight end, empty backfield, the screen pass, and that's going to be bobbled and incomplete. That was just slightly forward enough to make it not a fumble.
Trying to get the ball to Sophie Tucker, but coverage was good and no space for Cheshire to make anything happen there. It's going to be a difficult 4th down.
Now, the good news is when you have a 4 down skid to midfield, you can usually move the ball. The bad news is you can end up with 4th and about 23, which is what Cheshire has here. Empty backfield. Up in the air, and that's going to be incomplete. That wouldn't have gotten the 1st down anyway, so a nice stop by Leeds, who will now march their way back to start the next drive.
Yeah, Cheshire trying to get the ball to Hannah Rosa, but the pass just didn't have the power on it, did it, from Sinead Martin to really make any impact. There was good coverage as well. There was, again, Bethany Pilkington right there in that linebacker spot to shut any chance of that one down, Sean. And the ball goes back to Leeds.
Yeah, another difference that people may not be familiar with is even on a turnover on downs, you end up with, you start at your own 5. And that's exactly what we have here with the handoff to the left, and it's got a little bit of a crease. And that's going to be about a gain of 10 to really make this 2nd down a lot more manageable. That's a nice run off the left side there by Leeds. Second down, about 12. 2 running backs in the backfield, one leading the way as an up back, but a shifty tackle, way to slip a defender there, and that's going to be just short of the 1st down, so we're about 3rd and about 2. That play looked like it was going to get shut down in the backfield, but that running back said no way to that.
Gabrielle Derrick on the run. She's such a talented runner and already put 6 points of her own on the board. And it was number 92 who's trying to bring her down, Megan Delaney, who didn't have a chance. Gabrielle Derrick showing those moves.
And Delaney just went a bit too high on that tackle as well. You got to stay low against these shifty and powerful runners. Now, tight end, And a receiver to the bottom of your screen, a fake handoff with the QB keep. And that's going to be enough for the first down and more. Tackled forward, but there is a fumble. Cheshire says they have it on the sideline. Of course they would. Let's see what the officials say. And they do. Cheshire ball.
Wow, they really needed that. Olivia Delby-Naylor on the keep from a quarterback position. Just fakes it one way, then off to her left-hand side. Tackle comes in from behind. And I believe it was Megan Delaney actually that caused the fumble. And it was Alexandra Jelfs with the recovery for Cheshire.
That's a great play by Cheshire. And it's a really fast game, high scoring. We've seen games with totals in the 50s. And so, yeah, down 14-0. But if Cheshire can get some points on the board on this drive or the next one, they're right back in it. One running back, 3 yards behind the QB. Following that lead block, but again, hit in the backfield. It's another big hit by that defensive line of Leeds, just dominating right now. That's Emma Cook coming in, making this hack, or the tackle for loss, I should say.
Yeah, nowhere for Cheshire to go. Cheshire in blue shirts and Leeds in the black and purple, you can see there. And that was just a great play, as you said, Sean. Emma Cook off her defensive line position. No breathing space for Cheshire so far.
Trips formation up top, empty backfield. See if they can get a bit more time here for one of these passes. Enough time, has a completion, but that's going to be for no gain. Maybe a bit of a confidence booster.
Yeah, that's better from the offensive line of Cheshire. They're just giving Sinead Martin enough time to get the ball out to Hannah Rosa. Trying to get into the flats there to pick up some space, but it was good defending on the other end of that.
So a quick turnaround, already to third down for Cheshire. Going back to that trips formation, 3 down linemen for Leeds. Motion, rolling out on a wheel. QB looks that way and ends up going deep. Incomplete. Had a receiver but within 3 defenders, so really would have had to thread the needle there.
Trying to get it to Sophie Tucker on the streak pattern down the field. I like the design of that play. They just couldn't pull it off that time. They put Sophie in motion, Hannah Rosa in motion, just as a bit of a distraction, then trying to get the play downfield. I'm sure they'll come back to that.
That's also the furthest we've seen the ball thrown downfield by Cheshire. Now 3 receivers up top, spread out, so not a trips formation, but 3 wideouts. Drops back, scans right, and that's going to fall short. And that's another turnover on downs forced by Leeds.
Trying to get it to Katie Ormston that time, Cheshire, on a little screen pass. Again, the pass just lets them down from Sinead. I'm sure she'll go back to the sideline, speak to her coaches, see if they can tighten up on some of this offensive execution.
Leeds quickly back on the field. Linemen setting up. 1 tight end and a wideout. Running back offset. 3 down linemen for Cheshire. Good penetration by the running back going up the middle. Scans from right to left. And that's going to be a big hit by Cheshire, but not before Leeds can gain about 15 yards on that first down run. Those ends, really, they went up on each side and just left that middle of the field wide open, didn't they, Carl?
They did. You see Ellie Partington coming in there, laying the boom, letting out some of that frustration on Gabrielle Derrick. Still, it was a big gain for Leeds. Just got to get to that halfway line for a fresh set of downs.
High snap and a wide run. Some good blocking by Leeds. That's going to be a first down and a bit more. And a truck to fall forward. And this is going to put them in a really good scoring position because it's still first and goal, but you're starting midway through that second half.
Derrick just taking over this game, isn't she? Great pace, great power, good speed, nifty feet, difficult to bring down. Great running.
And with this,
from number 13 for Leeds.
Sorry, Carl. Same formation, offset, a little bit of a false start. The refs don't seem to have called it, so we have a deep pass over the outstretched hands of Laura Hendricks. As I said earlier, Carl, with this 4 downs to score format, if you get a big play into the second half of the field, you can afford to gamble a little bit. And that's what they've chosen to do here. Now Leeds on 2nd down with a toss to the right. Some great blocking from their receivers. One pancake and another fumble. Some ball security issues here. Another fumble for the Leeds. Derek just couldn't hold on to it.
Wow, you don't expect that from Derek. Great running from her initially, and it was an excellent block of that line of scrimmage. But the tackles are going in hard from Cheshire, and they've had to do that to try and keep in the game. Defense has knocked the ball out twice now from Derek.
It's almost like Derek isn't expecting these extra hits, getting that really good blocking up front, nice moves in the open field, and then getting caught off guard by these hits at the very end of these runs.
It's just as she's cutting back inside, isn't it, and getting hit, you know, front and behind. And the Bears' defense is doing a good job getting their hands into that basket and knocking that ball loose.
We have a bit of a delay in the game here as there's an injury on the field. So we're looking at the Bears sideline right now.
Yeah, the Bears had a 3-5 record coming at the end of the season and didn't make these finals initially. But because the Manchester Titans pulled out and the Teesside pulled out, Teesside unable to field a team and so handed their place to the Titans. But the Titans also pulled out. We don't know why. We've not had notification from Manchester as to why that was the case. So the Cheshire Bears were handed the spot. They actually came bottom of their division, but they were competitive in games. They won 3 of their own games during the season, but they were never the match for Leeds. Last time these two teams met was on the 13th of August, and Leeds beat Cheshire 35-0. And then earlier today, they had a tough time against the champion Birmingham Lions, losing 51-0. But they'll just be pleased, Sean, that they're here and playing in the finals.
I think when it comes to this league, it's really, there are 2 or 3 teams that are competing for those finals, and then everyone else's goal is mostly to make the playoffs and try to compete there. And we've seen the injured player is now up and getting an applause. That's Susan Gray, getting support from both sidelines as she gets back on her own power. Cheshire looking to huddle up. They do have 2 points from a safety that we saw. Just as we were going live with the stream, we saw a safety. So they're only down by 14 right now, trying to get some points on the board on offense. 1 receiver up top, tight end on the same side. Another handoff to the right, cannot get the block around the edge, cuts back. That might be a face mask. We do see a flag. The ball has come out, but that's not going to matter because I'm fairly certain a defender got their hand right on the face cage of the running back. Have to wait for a call from the officials here. They seem to be chatting it up.
It was 52, wasn't it, that came in? Ellie Partington again. She's been busy on the tackle. Sorry, not Ellie Partington. It was Megan Robinson, the linebacker for Leeds, that came in to make that tackle. I don't know whether the penalty was called on her, but it is going to give Cheshire an automatic first down on that one as well and take them closer to that midfield position.
Now, you might see a deep pass here from Cheshire because they get the automatic first down, but they can still get a first down after gaining only 5 yards. So they could take 2 or 3 bombs downfield and then just come back and do a little short screen play or a hitch or something to get another fresh set of downs. We'll see if that's the route they go. Leeds crowding the line, 6 in the box. Cheshire with 1 tight end and a running back in the backfield. It's a handoff up the middle. Met initially. Again, this Cheshire O-line really struggling with the Leeds defensive line. Another hit in the backfield. The fall forward gets about a gain of 1, though.
Yeah, they've tried to get Megan Delaney going, and now they're trying to get the ball to Shannon Kennedy, but that defensive line has been excellent. It was Gina Roscoe that time coming in to make the tackle.
Sometimes you feel like you're getting handed a live grenade when this defensive line keeps getting into the backfield like that. Now there's some time on a pass, looking deep, scanning right, scanning left, in the air. That's tipped by receiver, and then 2 Leeds players almost fought over the ball and couldn't manage to rake in that interception.
It was better that time, wasn't it? It hit the hands of Katie Ormston. She just couldn't pull it in. If they're going to have any chance to compete today, those sort of passes are going to need to be complete. She had a chance, but it was a difficult catch to make.
D-line looks like they stood up, maybe anticipating a pass. And that ball is going to hit the ground on a low pass right by the shoelaces of the Cheshire receiver.
They can score, these Cheshire Bears, but they're struggling today. Shut out earlier, 51-0 to the Lions, and they're finding it difficult,
Kennedy
aren't they,
there
against this Leeds defense.
Yeah, exactly right, Carl. Shannon Kennedy couldn't reel that one in. So now we have a 4th down, but again, as we said, because of the penalty, it's only 4th and 5. Off coverage here at the top of your screen. Cheshire could look up top on a little hitch or a short route. So let's go to the left, and that's, just off both hands. That's another mistake there. That would have been a big play for Cheshire, but Hannah Rosa could not haul that in.
Again, nice tight coverage from Megan Robinson. She was great on that series, making tackles and pass defending downfield. Just nothing available for Cheshire at the moment on offense, and they're staying in this one through the turnovers. 16-2 is the current score if you're just joining us.
Another run up the middle, some nice blocking for Leeds, met by 1, 2, 3 defenders. Gain of about 5 for Leeds, right up the middle. Another solid run. Different running back that time. That time we saw Emma Burton in the backfield for Leeds, I believe. Receiver and tight end to the right. That's going to be a false start. Yeah, it's false start on the left guard. Can't jump that early.
Like
Excited to get out on that. Sorry, Cole.
A couple of Leeds players went early there, didn't they? Sure. I think Katie White flinched as well on a wide receiver spot, so that'll be marched back.
I've been in that situation before, Carl. You get a false start on everyone but the center, and then you think, wait a second.
Exactly.
We still haven't seen Henry back out for Leeds. Looks like she might be taking a drive or so off. Lead block to the left. QB keep. Breaks 1 tackle. Gets about 5 yards. Olivia Dalby-Naylor with a gain of about 5. Had a pulling blocker from the backside and a lead block from the running back.
Yeah, it was a nice pursuit actually in the end by Emily Russell, just chasing that quarterback down from behind.
Another run up the middle. These have gone well so far, but this time met well by the Bears. Only a gain of about 4, so it's going to set up a 4th and long for Leeds.
Yeah, Cheshire Bears defense playing well. Caused those 2 turnovers. Got a safety on the board. Just need something from their offense, but if they can hold Leeds here, going to give an opportunity for Cheshire offense to come back on the field.
Keeping with that up back formation. Lead does a fake handoff. QB keep. The defense has been fooled. But it's not going to be enough for a first down for Leeds. The D-line completely bought the fake, but the secondary came down in that run game.
Yeah, well done, Cheshire Bears defense. Don't let them get to that midfield spot. They'll be pleased with that, Sean. It was number 52 that turned the play back in, and then it was Chloe Southard coming in to bring Naylor down. Turnover on downs.
Bears probably felt a bit like they were, punched in the mouth those first couple of drives, but since then they had safety and 2 forced turnovers, and now turnover on downs. So, as you said, it's now the offense's turn, only down by 2 scores here. 3 receivers up top, empty backfield. Oh, that ball's come out awkwardly, but it is a completion. It'll be hit for about 1. That just slipped out of the hands of Martin Sneed.
Katie Ormston on the reception. At least they got a completion. That should build some confidence for Sinead Martin. And they've been trying to get that going. Let's see if they come back to that.
3 receivers up top again. 3 down linemen for Cheshire. Or for Leeds, I should say. It's another high pass, falling short. Not going to be able to make a lot of catches with that trajectory, unfortunately, if you are the Bears. That might be the 2-minute warning here already, Carl.
Yeah, 2 20-minute halves in this format of British American football. 7 aside, as Sean said. 70-yard field in length, 50 yards wide. A lot of similarities to flag football. But we're now 2 minutes left in the half. It's gone quick, Sean.
Yeah, these are fast games. Yeah, and then half times they go by quick as well. Martin does a little bit of a rocket screen. That's going to be just forward enough to not be a fumble. They get a little risky on those, Carl. That's 2 or 3 screen passes that are very close to backwards.
Yeah, I think Sinead Martin's just under constant pressure, isn't she, from that Leeds defensive line, finding it hard, having to throw off a back foot, get rid of the ball early. Leeds just bringing that constant pressure from that 3-woman line.
3 receivers up top again, empty backfield. Martin looks right. And that's going to hit and hit the floor. Hit, I think, one hand of the intended receiver, but ultimately fell short. That's going to be another turnover on downs. Katie
Had a
Ormston
better spiral on it that time, didn't it? But no chance for Katie Ormston, as you say, Sean, to bring it in. And the defense again being asked with less than 2 minutes to go now in this half to defend against this tough Leeds offense.
I got to think Leeds is going to stay on the ground here. They've had a lot of success moving. They have had a couple fumbles, but the blocking is there. Motion. Lead block, following up the middle. QB's going to keep it. Makes one. Stiff arms another, and this is going to be a touchdown. What a spectacular play. Olivia Dalby-Naylor with the stiff arm and the long score before the half.
That's what you get if you have a tired defense coming on. They've not had a break. And a lot of these girls playing both ways as well. What a great stiff arm that was from Naylor to free herself at the midway line. Great run in there from Olivia Dalby-Naylor.
And now we have a handoff to the right. Good blocking. And we'll see. I think just a bit short for the conversion. Yeah, no conversion there, but 6 more points on the board for Leeds to extend it. They're now 22-2, up by 20 against the Bears. What a play, Carl. I'm really impressed by the run game of Leeds so far. You have a lot of different looks. You have fake handoff, QB keep, QB option, up the middle, wide run. But ultimately all driven by that offensive line, who's just been dominating the Bears D-line all day. Bears go back to trips formation, empty backfield. See if they can get some points before the half. Bit of a rush by Martin. That's going to be a completion. Gain of about 7. Well, if you want to start a drive, that's the way to do it. Timeout by the Bears, trying to get a score before time runs out in the half.
Yeah, it was the best pass we've seen so far from Sinead Martin. Her spirals are getting better. Bears will just call that timeout, as you say, Sean, to slow the clock. And it was a nice reception.
Leeds' defense is very fast sideline to sideline. And we've seen all these screen passes, wide runs get met immediately. I think these passes over the middle, that's the way Martin needs to go here at the end of the first half and starting into the second.
Yeah, try and bring number 85, Shannon Kennedy, into the game a little bit more. They've been trying to get the ball into the flats, but as you say, Sean, because of that constant pressure from the D-line, Martin's just not had the time to get the ball off. So dropping back 3 quick steps and then across the middle to her big target, Shannon Kennedy. See if they can come back to that.
Martin's got second down with her offense in tow. 2 receivers and a tight end up top. Eventually, you got to think they're going to come to this backside where they're leaving it empty and try to draw the defense that way. Martin's going to fade away and, should have been picked off, but dropped by Leeds' Marianne Fernandez. She just couldn't haul that in, hit both hands.
Yeah, I think Martin was expecting a receiver to come back on that ball, but just miscommunication and a dangerous pass in the end.
Hard to get a completion as you go backwards. Martin quickly go to the line, third down. Same formation. Rolls out, fades away, and another completion. It's going to be fourth down and about 5 for the Bears. They're going to have to hurry here, time becoming a factor. Line, defense still adjusting. Top of the screen doesn't have a defender in place yet. Cheshire slows it down. Martin looks right, back over the middle. Batted by the receiver. Couldn't haul that in, so we're going to have another turnover on downs.
Good defense that time from Alice Quinn on Shannon Kennedy to deny the Cheshire Bears any further yards. But it was nice, some nice receptions there from Kennedy, and that's something that the Cheshire offense can build on in the second half.
Based on what I've heard from the sidelines, I don't think there's much left in this half at all. If there's 1 or 2 runs up the middle, we could run out of time. High snap, hauled in. Got a block on the right, gets around 1 defender. This is Derrick again, fresh legs. Oh, and this could be another score, makes another defender miss. And that's another touchdown. Run by Henry, Derrick Henry. What a run by Derrick. I'm not sure why she looked disappointed. She just got a big run, 45-yard run. Looked like she was a bit frustrated at the end. Maybe she a little sore, limping slightly.
Can't do it better than that, Gabrielle Derrick. Nice job on the run. Tired, these Bears.
Toss to the right. Derrick cuts up fields. Follows some great blocking, and that's another score.
Yeah, they need a break, this Cheshire Bears defense, and they're going to get one now as we go to the half. Another 7 points on the board, and it's 29 to the Leeds Chargers. And just that safety for the Cheshire Bears. And some great running from Gabrielle Derrick with, I don't know how many touchdowns she's got. Is that 2 touchdowns for Derrick in this first half?
And then Naylor had another running one. So going into the last 3 minutes of the half, multiple scores for these long runs. And 2 back-to-back long runs, almost the whole length of the field. Good blocking downfield. Receivers managed to move the DBs. And when it's 7-man American football, Carl, you block 1 or 2 people, you can be off to the races.
It's a lot of turf to cover for a defence, 50 yards wide, 70 yards long, and even with 7 people on the field, you can get those really great runners like Derek with those good moves. They can break into space, and it can be very difficult, even if you've got the right angle, to bring those runners down. And I think the Bears, they were just exhausted, weren't they, towards the end of that half? They were getting there, but they just didn't have the energy to pull Derek down, and she's such a tough runner. So we end up with a score of 29-2. We're going to take a quick break for the half, and we will join you for the second half action after this short break. See you soon.
And we're back in action for the second half between the Cheshire Bears and the Leeds Chargers. Leeds out to a 30-2 advantage to start here in the second half. Going to be on defense to start here as they trot out to face that Bears offense. Bears offense couldn't get much going in the first half. Did not manage any offensive points. Did get 2 points on a safety, courtesy of their defense.
Yeah, welcome back everyone. Sean Endicott on your lead commentator, and my name's Carl Walkinshaw, and welcome to this second half of this third and fourth place matchup. If you're just joining us for this second half, it's Cheshire in the blue. Is that aqua? Aqua, I guess, the colour there. And
yeah, it's a little bit of a tealish aqua. And Cheshire's going to start out with a run up the middle, met immediately by 2 defenders from Leeds. That's another great play by that Leeds defense, doing well. Met by Emma Burton and Bethany Pilkington. It's a good tackle by both of them.
Trying to get Shannon Kennedy going in the back. We've seen her got a couple of receptions and now put her in the backfield, see if she can make an impact there. But no joy against that tough Leeds defense.
So Cheshire now at their own 4. Have to start looking out for these sacks when you come in here. A sack on first or second down of any drive can be quite damaging. Tight end and running back on the same side for this play. Receiver off your screen to the left. And that's going to be a fumble in the backfield. Gathered up, but not before losing 2 or 3 yards. So now we're looking at that 3rd and 3. Leeds D-line's going to start licking their chops coming up here, Carl.
Yeah, I don't know how much Shannon Kennedy's played in the backfield. You know, you don't know how many reps, how many chances Sinead Martin's had to hand off to Shannon Kennedy. So just a miscommunication at the point of the snap.
And I believe that was the first time for the day the Bears had the running back was offset to the same side instead of straight back behind the QB. Usually they're straight back or offset from the tight end, so that could have been different as well. Here we have 3rd and a long way to go. Bears need to get something going forward. Leeds creeping up in that box. Well, it's a tackle for a loss, but it might be for naught because there is a flag. The Leeds D-line, they irked forward a bit, but it's unclear if they crossed the plane or if a Cheshire O-lineman moved. And that's going to be a false start, making this even a more difficult 3rd down. You got to think Leeds is going to go for a blitz here.
Yeah, they'll want to get a safety of their own. Cheshire Bears against the run of play got a safety in the first half.
Last minute substitution there, Carl. Sorry to cut you off, but we had a last minute substitution. Look at the size of this big bruising running back. I bet you we can guess where this ball's going. Tight end on the right, handoff up the middle, trying to follow that bruiser, but Metz, and that's going to be at the inch. Oh my goodness, you might have to break into some fractions of units here. It's they're far inside their own 1 yard line now, Carl.
Just trying to, they give the ball to Ellie Partington, number 52 for the Bears. Just say, Ellie, you know, get us out of trouble. She's made some plays on defense. Now they're asking her to save their embarrassment here. And just,
Carl, I would just chuck it out of bounds. Sorry to cut you off, Carl. I would just chuck it out of bounds. This is just too risky. A gain of about 3 for Cheshire. Sorry to cut you off there, Carl. But now it's a turnover on downs. Leeds going to have it in their own territory.
Well, at least they avoided total disaster, did the Bears. Their woes on offense continue. 4 and out, but they don't give Leeds the safety. And due to the strong legs of Ellie Partington, just managed to give them enough breathing space to get out of trouble.
With the structure of the 7-a-side game, if it's 4th and long, you might as well throw it 50 yards. Doesn't really matter. The ball's going all the way to the other side of the field anyway. And here is Derek with a run to the right. Breaks one tackle and falls forward for a gain of about 5. Keeping that strong running game going for the Leeds Chargers.
Yeah, the early scoring for Leeds came from Derek in that first touchdown, then the pick 6 from Pilkington, and then Delby Naylor getting into the end zone with her legs as well.
Fake this time. QB is going to keep it. Darby Naylor with the long run, just getting around, gets that big first down. It's 1 yard past the midfield line, so a fresh set of downs for the Chargers. Fatigue now a factor.
Chargers lost earlier, and they played the London Warriors. They lost 52-20, but they did put up 20 points on the Warriors, Leeds, and they're continuing to rack up points here. 50 points in total today for these Chargers.
Fake handoff and a shovel pass forward on a sweeping play. And that's going to be a big gain for big number 99, Laura Hendricks, trucking through a defender to get those last couple of yards in a big fight.
Yeah, she got a reception in the first half, didn't she, Laura? And she plays that tight end position. Beautifully designed little shovel pass, that one, Sean. You'll like that.
Oh, I'm a big fan. And as I said, all this misdirection, fake handoff, QB keep, then a shovel. What are they going to do here? This time, go back to Derek, run up the middle, nice cut back. Hit by some defenders, but still a gain of 5 or 6. Leeds run game, very sophisticated in terms of misdirection. They clearly have a lot of options. They've repped this. It's pretty clear that they've done this quite a bit. They have handoff, keep, speed option, fake, shovel, and even if you don't have that pass game going, you can rely and fall back on that run game. Looks to be what they're going to do in the second half with this big lead. Shows what I know, because they go through the air that time. But it's going to be incomplete. Laura Hendricks couldn't haul that one in.
They had the right idea. They're confusing this Cheshire Bears defense. And they've got a lot of different ways to score, these Chargers.
Maybe they should have listened to me, Carl, though. Incomplete in the end. Let's see what Leeds does. Now that's 2 fakes, and that shovel almost picked off.
Ooh.
That's a forward pass, so it's not going to be a fumble. That was not a clean play. I think Cheshire sniffed out that fake handoff shovel pass.
They went to the well one too many times, and the Cheshire Bears defense hold again, even though they're tired, exhausted from that first half. Chloe Southard was right there in that throwing lane, wasn't she? Just to make sure that wasn't complete.
Now, Carl, you can appreciate this as a defensive-minded coach. Those D linemen going upfield and then retracing their steps, continuing to stay active, keep that motor going so you can make these plays. We saw that in the NFL over the last week. Trayvon Walker had a pick on a similar play. Cheshire trying to do the same thing here. Just keep your feet moving if you're a defensive lineman. Cheshire now. Tight end and 2 receivers to the left, one just off of your screen. Bit of a low snap. Martin's going to look. Just falls short of a receiver there again. It's been a real struggle through the air for these Bears.
Yeah, you just feel like Sinead needs a little bit more time to work on those mechanics, don't you, Sean, as she drops back, often throwing off her back foot. But a lot of these girls, it's the first time ever playing this game, doing a good job as Sinead running the offense, but a little bit more work on getting that ball out clean.
Yeah, it's been a struggle so far. It looks like they might go through the ground here. I formation almost. At least as eye as you can be with 7-man football, run up the middle, and that's stuffed. That's a good tackle by Pilkington. Another big tackle for a loss for that Leeds D-line.
How well has she played, Bethany Pilkington? Number of tackles on the day. Really tough in the middle of that defense. She just beat her block there and straight onto the runner.
Yeah, it's one-on-one matchups for these O-line, D-line a lot in the sevens game. You often have 3 O-line and 3 D-line, so there's no strong ratios favoring the offense there. Cheshire with trips on the left side of the screen. There are some receivers open. That's going to be a deep pass Unfortunately for the Bears, it's a deep pass to the turf. Got to be careful there. Alice Quinn spiking the ball in frustration. Let's not draw a flag if you're from the perspective of the Leeds coaches.
I think she's sort of kicking herself a little bit because she had a chance at the pick. She just needed to drive on that ball, but frustrated with herself that she couldn't get there a little bit earlier.
Trips formation again for Cheshire. Martin looking left, looks back to the right, going through some reads. That's a well-timed... Oh, referees disagree with what I was going to say. I was going to say a well-timed hit by Marion Fernandez, but I think the officials thought it was a bit early.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's because she went to the head on that one, or was it helmet to helmet? I don't know, but they're trying to get the ball to Katie Ormston again, and Sinead Martin made the right decision, but just couldn't get the ball out quick enough. Maybe they'll just pick that flag up, Sean.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, if it's... No, they're changing the down marker, so it was some sort of penalty. So it is first down for the Bears. Trying to maul their way downfield, as Bears tend to do.
I saw what you did there, Sean.
Leeds looks like they're spreading out their D-line a little bit here. It's almost like a double A gap with an offset end. Let's see if that gets some more pressure in the backfield. Low snap. And that pressure does get there. And that pass is going to go ultimately to nowhere. I don't think intentional grounding is a penalty in sevens, Carl, or that would have been what was called there. But I don't think you can ground it with this size of a pitch.
Well, I'm sure we'll get corrected if that's not the case. It was great pressure again from that D-line on Sinead Martin. If you're just joining us, the score here is 30 to Leeds and 2 to Cheshire.
Martin goes on a bit of a shallow crossing route, ultimately falls short of her receiver. That time falling at the heels of Katie Ormsted, trying to go back to her. Cheshire looking for anything they can get on a third down here. They got a penalty to help them. They had a penalty help them and get that third down, but nothing so far through the air. Trips formation to the left. Martin rolling back, pressure in her face. Again, falling short, as you said earlier in the game, Carl. Falling off your back foot, not a great way to get power into those passes.
Yeah, and part of it's just because of the pressure from that Leeds line, and part of it is mechanics. They've got the right idea of Cheshire, and they're getting players open. Shannon Kennedy trying to be the receiver on that one, but the timing's just off, and when you're playing a powerhouse defense like Leeds, it makes everything that much more difficult.
Here's that offset D-line, opposite of Trips now on the right of your screen. Receiver in motion, gets a bit of a wheel route, trying to scheme somebody open. Good time for Martin and a deep pass. Here's another flag. That's going to be a hold on the defense, Carl. So that's 2 penalties in a row to extend this drive.
Yeah, and I think that's a good call. Leeds have had very, very tight coverage.
It was Emma Burton with the hold, so it's a first down. And again, as we mentioned earlier, when you get a first down with the flag, you actually want to end up just short of that first down marker, which is what they're going to get here, because it's now first down and about 2.5. So now they only have to get 2.5 yards for a first. You can do a couple deep passes. You can try some things before you have to get that first down. Three receivers on the bottom of your screen. Leeds offset with their D-line to the right. Good time, but it's picked off, and Leeds, their defender's got nothing but green space in front of her. What a play. Alice Quinn with the pick 6.
Well, she was frustrated earlier, wasn't she, that she didn't get the pick, and she's just made amends. Drives hard on the football. And again, it was just a short pass throwing into three Leeds players there. But it's Quinn that comes out with the ball. Nothing but green in front of her.
It's good anticipation. So now the Leeds offense will come onto the field, try to get a conversion. Looks like they're going for 2. No, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. 2 receivers to the right. Pressure coming in. QB keep, rolls out to her left. Great block. Great block to open that run up, Carl. You got to be proud of that if you're an offensive line coach. Laura Hendrick clearing the way.
Yeah, it was a great block in that misdirection, and it takes the score to 37 points now for Leeds. And Cheshire just was that safety. So 37-2. Leeds Chargers in control on offense. On defense, have now had 2 pick 6s, one to Pilkington, one to Quinn, and continuing to rack up those points.
Carl, we'll have to double check on this. I believe that was a 2-point conversion, so it'll be 38, but I will confirm on that. So I apologize if I'm wrong. Because they ran that in there. I don't think you could run on a 1-point conversion. But regardless, big lead for Leeds, and we will confirm that going in as Cheshire comes out with 2 receivers to the right and a single running back offset to the QB's right, our left. Low snap, rolls out. Martin has some time. Time to go deep here. Nice crossing route and a good clean completion.
Yeah, and that's what she can do if she has a little bit of time in the pocket, Sinead Martin. And, sets her feet, picks out a target, and gets a completion. Nice job from her, and Sophie Tucker with the reception. Although they seem to have just not given that. Did we miss that?
Yeah. We were all excited.
Must have gone to the ground.
I thought she had it from our angle, but we only have one camera angle for us. Refs have a better view than we do. Cheshire, receivers all on the left, empty to our right. That's going to be a false start. Can't do that. Katie Olmstead getting a little too excited. So that's going to bring them back to their own 2.5-yard line, half the distance to the goal. So now watching out for safeties, tackles for losses. Leeds going to likely bring that pressure as we saw earlier. Cheshire, everyone out to the left again, continuing to leave that right side open. Leeds has adjusted their D-line. And that pass, Olmstead in the area, but ultimately not close enough to make a play on the ball.
What can these Bears do? They've tried everything, haven't they? They've tried to get the running game going with Ellie Partington and tried to get the ball to their receivers, Tucker and Ormston, but just can't seem to get any momentum on offense.
Exactly right, Carl. Now we have trips at the right side of your screen. See if they can get something here. Another low snap with some time. Martin goes up in the air, and that's going to be the longest completion of the day. To her favorite target. Who else, Carl? Katie Ormstead.
Yeah, nice job by Sinead Martin in the pocket there. And again, a nice clean pocket as well. That offensive line, if they can just hold those blocks, give Martin the time she needs to pick out these receivers, they can put points on the board. But still 4th down.
4th down and about 4. Looking to get to that midfield line. That's the black. I believe that's the black line on your screen. Everyone offset to the quarterback's right again. Martin waiting for the snap. Good protection. Looks out to her left. That's going to be a completion.
It's going to be that turnover on downs again, isn't it? Just
yeah, ultimately short. Yeah, I had to get to the white line on your screen that's now appeared on the right. So that is a turnover on downs again.
They're getting some completions though, the Bears. Trying to get that passing game going. So they have grown in confidence as that passing game has progressed. Just not enough though to stay with these high-flying charges.
Carl, one of my favorite things about the women's game, look how quick they are. The offense already out there and running a play. Derek sweeping out to the right, breaking one tackle, shifting past another. And look at that. As soon as we're finished talking about one play on defense, the other team's phase is already out. Their offense is on the field. That's great. American football is often criticized for being a bit slow. Good to see these plays going back to back to back.
These ladies not mucking about. They've got a job to do. Let's get it done.
Probably want to try to hit 50, Carl. They're going to have to hurry up. High snap, fake handoff, QB keep. This got some yards in the pass. Let's see what she does here. And that's going to be enough for a 1st down. Nice solid run.
When you've got a genuine threat like Gabrielle Derrick, you know, the whole of the defense are keying on her. And then Olivia Dolby-Naylor's no slouch. She can run as well. Very close to that 1st down already.
Oh, Carl, if you put my offensive coordinator cap on, this should be a deep pass. Nope, it's a shovel pass. Couldn't have been shallower. That's a face cage, my goodness. So, I don't know if we're supposed to be super neutral on something like that. Basically tackled by her face cage. It wasn't just a incidental pull. It was pulled down to the ground.
Katrina Taylor there on the tackle. I think what she's trying to do is actually so 10 yards and a 1st down. I think what Katrina Taylor's trying to do there is just stop that forward momentum, try and drag the runner back because she's so close to that 1st down point. But yeah, an obvious face mask.
That's one of the reasons that you tackle low, though, Carl, is you reduce the risk of that while being able to drive someone back. Now Leeds with a 1st down, good field position. A little pop pass out to the right, nice clean out route and a good completion. Laura Hendricks snags it in and gets out of bounds.
And hats off to this Leeds offensive line.
Yeah, Dolby-Naylor's
played really well
pressured all
today.
day. You know. Another good block out to the right. Ooh, just tripped. It's going to fall short. I think they're going to say she's about the 1 foot line. Could have got in there, but I think she just tripped over someone's feet just as she fell in. But a really good block. I want to give a shout out. Katie White, I believe, was the receiver on the right side of the screen. Did a great job kicking out the defensive back. And we've seen that all throughout the day for these Chargers. Just great open field blocking as well as a solid offensive line. That's a formula for success in just about any league.
Slight delay while number 99 for the Chargers, Laura Hendricks, comes off the field. She's going to need a little bit of help there from her offensive lineman. Here come the medics to help her out and players. Just looked like she twinged that ankle at that left ankle as she went to ground.
Yeah, tried to get off on her own power and just couldn't. And that's why your teammates and coaches are there to help you out. For those that are tuning in a bit late, we mentioned this earlier. We do have a second game today as we get an applause for the injured player getting off the field, Laura Hendricks. The championship game between the Birmingham Lions and the London Warriors. Both of them winning and both of them scoring more than 50 points in the first games of today. High snap. Henry's got a nice run up the middle. And a touchdown. A little bit of a late hit by the defense, according to the Leeds body language, but a score nonetheless. And another score for Henry, who's got to be arguing for a case for MVP of the day.
You keep calling her Henry, don't you? Derek Henry. It's Gabrielle
I'm
Derek.
sorry. I apologize because she runs like him. I'm sorry. Derek,
She does.
Right. Gabrielle
She
Derek.
does. She has a lot of the same skills. Gabrielle Derek with her third touchdown of the day.
Going for two this time. Tight end and receiver to the right, running back offset to the left. And that is Derek, but this time Met. Oh no! Met but not brought down. Breaks that tackle. What a run. Now that time she did look like Derek Henry. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. And look at her shimmying and dancing her way to the sideline. Well, you got to feel good after a run like that, don't you, Carl?
She did. She ran into Partington, Big Ellie Partington, and she just bounced off. Took some steps back. Partington couldn't wrap her up. Bounces into the end zone. That's a great piece of running from Derek Henry. She's been so impressive today.
Gabrielle Derek Henry. I think that's her new name. What a run. So now 46-2 for Leeds. Whistle, good chance that's the 2-minute warning based on the body language of the officials. Or maybe not, maybe just an official's timeout. Make sure clocks are right or down markers are set up. Trips formation for Cheshire out to your right. Empty on the left. Martin. Pass over the middle, and that's going to be another interception. Picked off, and it's going to be another pick six for the Leeds defense. This time, Bethany Pilkington. Well, she couldn't make the tackle on that last play. I'm sorry. Different play. She got the pick six there, and that's a great play for her. Another 6 points on the board.
That's her second pick six of the day. And she just was in acres of space. Bethany Pilkington with two pick sixes. Had one in the first half. Picks up another one here.
Well, we passed the 50 burger for the Leeds Chargers, so they can now all go to the burger van and celebrate. And why wouldn't you if you're the third best team in the country? Going for two. QB keep. Jukes one defender, but ultimately brought down by two. The one that she juked got back as the D-line then slowed her down. So that's going to bring us to a score of 52-2. Leeds over Cheshire.
Bears just playing for pride now. They have shown some signs of getting that passing game going. And they'll want to put some points on the board themselves before this one's over.
Leeds now with 4 players down close to the line, one slightly off. Pressure from one side. Martin gets a completion, gain of about 2 or 3. Forward progress before being driven back. As you said, Carl, just want to
Kennedy
get something going
on the
here.
reception. That'll be it, I think.
And that's the last play of the game as Leeds closes out the victory in the 3 versus 4 matchup here at the Cheshire County Sports Club. This is the National Women's Football League finals today. This was the 3 versus 4 matchup, so now Leeds can confidently confirm they are the number 3 team in the nation, which is a wonderful place to be. You want to see those programs on the up and up if you're from the perspective of Leeds. Let's give a shout out to Cheshire. Obviously on the scoreboard today, hard day at the office, Carl, but Cheshire wasn't even supposed to be here. 2 teams dropped out. Cheshire stepped up, came here, played a final, fought until the final whistle.
Certainly did. And they should be proud of their performance. All of these women on the Cheshire Bears. The Bears defense, I was impressed with them in the first half. They kept their team in it. But the power of the Leeds Chargers offense was just too much. In the end, you saw scores from Gabrielle Derrick from Leeds, and Pilkington got 2 pick sixes. Darby Naylor got in herself. And it was a dominant performance from these Chargers.
Yeah, ultimately, really good run game by Leeds drove this. Obviously, the defense did a great job not allowing any offensive points and getting multiple pick sixes of their own. On the offensive side of the ball, just too much misdirection and run. And as you said, Cheshire, there was a bit in that first half where they slowed them down, but ultimately, I think fatigue set in, and the depth and repetitions of the Leeds Chargers really was on display. Some great runs, and let's commend Gabrielle Derrick, who had a couple fumbles and then had a couple drives off, came back, and then scored some more points. And that's what you like to see from your workhorse running back, is somebody who can come back from adversity.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sean. And so many great plays from great players for the Leeds Chargers. But I would give the MVP to, it's not my decision by any means. But if I had to choose, it would be Gabrielle Derrick, especially on that 2-pointer, Sean, where she bounced off Ellie Partington and ran it into the end zone. That was amazing. So well done to her, and well done to these Leeds Chargers.
Yeah, you got to think that's probably the play of the game. Certainly on the highlight reel, I can see that. That'll probably be on social media by this afternoon.
Yeah,
Carl,
well deserved.
I don't think there's a medal for this game, is there?
No, we're going to turn our attention now, I think, to the final that's coming up, and it's going to be a mouth-watering one, Sean, for the first and second place in this National Women's Football League Premiership. It's going to be the Birmingham Lions, 6-time champions of the Sapphire Series, against the mighty London Warriors. Lions coming to that with an 8-0 record, and the Warriors with a 6-2 record. But both those teams on form today, and we'll look forward to that one. So I think we'll wrap up our coverage here of this 3rd and 4th place matchup, and focus our attention on the Lions-Warriors game, Sean.
We'll see you all in a little bit.